You know who's got the hardest job tonight? Javier Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now, if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of the First Generation Dad. I am your host, Seven, and with me is a smattering of individuals as we are going to talk about the Oscars and the reality of this situation and how it impacts us as a society and what it really shows. I have a lot of guests with me. First person I want to bring in is my co-host of First Generation Dad, a guy that I have a lot of respect for and also kind of resembles what you get when you order Black Mamba on Wish. Will Morgan is with me.
What's up, man?
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
What's going on with you, man? Good to be here. Good to be here.
Not a whole lot. I thought of that joke on the way to go get my soda before the show. I was like, oh, that's just too damn good. That's just too damn good. Oh man, thank you for having me. And then we have the CEO of Pinfall, El Jefe herself, Josie, is with us. I know I did not get the conjugation of that verb right. I'm sorry, I just don't give a fuck. I got the name right.
That was too funny.
Prepared to come in with, man, it is good to be here with the Black Mamba of Wish.
Yes. Yes.
That's your new nickname, bro. I'm saying
the
that we're
Black
gonna run
Mamba
with that.
of Wish. Damn right.
And then I am so honored because when it comes to the modern shows on Pinfall Stream, my next guest has never been on any other show, and that means white privilege is winning for me again. My next guest, Shah.
What's up?
What's up, man? Thank you so much for joining me. Shah is a co-host with Will.
Oh my gosh.
We are actually covering a topic that is not comic book or somehow related to it or anime. That Shah is with us.
I'm good. And
you know, Will Smith is known for playing Deadshot. And
he brought it back.
That's a very good point.
He's right.
And honestly, not the worst depiction of Deadshot I've ever seen either. Like, we can be realistic.
Depiction.
Yeah,
I loved it.
And Shah, thank you. Shah co-hosts the Geek Gauntlet podcast on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern with Will Morgan on the William Morgan Media Twitch page. So definitely check that out and support them. I'm so glad they're both with me tonight. Our next guest, she has produced with us multiple times last year, and I'm so glad that I was able to keep her awake. I'm sure I owe her like a case of Monster for this. Kay, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. And you know what? It's all right. I might be able to stave off the sleepiness to finish this one out because it's going to be a hot topic, that's for sure.
I think we'll all be awake by the end of this. I'm almost certain.
If there's no yelling, I'll be surprised.
I mean, I'm counting on it at some point. I'm just glad we can't slap each other. And then the last but certainly not least, somebody who has not been on First Generation Dad, but I've been thinking about trying to bring him on anyway. He is actually the only one of us that is qualified to talk about mental health. Tyler is with us this evening.
What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody?
What's up, bro?
Thank you guys.
What's up, bro?
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for doing, so that everybody knows it's watching. Tyler and Kay on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Pinfall Network, the Double XP podcast, where they, along with Pun and others, I think Avery's on there as well.
Jeremy.
Jerry, that's what it's Jeremy. Going into all things gaming related. Definitely check them out. That's 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday nights on Pinfall Stream channels, as well as the Double XP page. So I want to open this up. We're going to keep this part very simple just so we can get it easy. I'm going to go each one of you, and I want to know if you just in a yes or no answer, if you support what Will Smith did or not. Will?
Nope.
Josh or Josie, sorry.
I'm honestly split. I can't say yes or no.
Okay, Tyler?
The principle of what he did, in a way, the way that he did it, where he did it, especially based on who he is and the influence that he has, absolutely not. No.
Shah?
I understand it. I mean, not saying it should happen, but I do understand it.
And Kay?
Kind of same. Like, I can see the motivation behind it, but no, not the way it was handled.
I'm definitely in a position where, I same way. I get why he did what he did, but it's kind of one of those things where there's a time and a place for everything for me. You know what I mean? And so I definitely feel like there is a better way to handle it. And then for me as a comic, I definitely do not ever attack a performer on stage. I don't care how bad the joke is. Get him off stage and handle your business privately. Because when you leave somebody on stage is defenseless. And because especially on stage,
tomatoes.
All those people in front of you, you can't swing first because you think somebody's coming up to strike. You got to wait. You can't. You literally can't. You will be screwed. And so that was the thing for me that crossed the line. And Will, I know that you had an interesting point on this, so I'll kick this over to you. What was the thing that really bugged you about this?
And it bugged me. Chris didn't fight back. And I get what Josie is saying. Me and Josie had a discussion after a little bit after it happened. My thing is, being from the African American community, being one of the few people of color on this panel, there's two things you don't do. You don't spit in a black man's face and you don't slap a black man. That's something they did to us in slavery. We don't take that well. And for Chris to sit there and not do it, he's better than me.
And
because if that was me, Will would have got them hands. I don't care if he's bigger than me. I don't care what form of martial arts he knows. I don't care. He would have got them hands. And every time I saw him, I don't care if it was in the bathroom, he would have got them hands then too. You don't show that sign of disrespect over something so trivial. That's number one. Number two, first, and I put a Facebook post on it. If you guys want to review it, feel free to. I'll blame Jada for all this. Let's say, for example, me and Kay are in a relationship, and Kay sees some stuff I'm about to do. She sees I'm about to get angry. She's about to get upset. You know how Kay protects me? With something Jada has never done to Will? All Kay's got to do is say, Will, it ain't worth it. And that's it. That's it. And that's something Jada didn't do. Jada has never protected Will in any situation. That's why I said if it was me, she would have sat there for every joke he joked. She would have paid for the whole situation with that entanglement if it was me. And Will was wrong for, instead of going up to him and trying to handle the situation without violence, he went there. And when you go there, you got a right to defend yourself. And, like I say you can't swing first. I got you, but that don't mean I can't swing second. So
or last, right?
Oh, right. So
two things.
And I get where Josie's coming from.
Shah, I'm gonna get you next.
And I get where Josie is coming from because, again, Will is the bigger man. Will knows this. Will knows that. But that don't mean I can't Rey Mysterio. But that don't mean I can't Rey Mysterio his ass. And as far as people saying you have to defend your wife, when you're in a marriage, you defend each other. And that's something. And I'll say again, Jada has never defended Will. Never, ever. She made that man cry on her own show. Made that man break down and cry. She has never protected him. So that right there, I would have sat right there. You taking all these jokes, every last one of them, because again, if you don't protect me, I ain't protecting you.
Okay, Shah, what did you want to say? Sorry.
So about that whole thing of expecting Rock to, fight. Now, besides the fact that he ain't going to be able to take Will, most definitely. besides that, this ain't the streets. This is not the kind of area where you gotta, have that mentality. This is the kind of area where you gotta fit into the white people, kind of like, where it's like you have to have certain manners that you're not expected to have on the streets. You know what I mean?
Rules
Like,
of engagement change. Yeah.
exactly. Like around certain types of people, you gotta act a certain kind of way. Like, okay, take my sister for instance. She has this thing where she can be around white people, she could be around Spanish people, and she could be around black people, and there's certain ways you gotta act around, different situations. It's like, all I'm saying is like, it's I get what you're saying, because on the streets, someone does something like that, you handle your business, but this isn't the kind of situation where you're expected to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, where, the people around you aren't going to think of you any less for doing that. In fact, they actually praised him for not, doing anything.
Oh, yeah, he was good for that.
Right.
He was good for that. I'm just saying, I couldn't do that.
I guess I'm just saying, different situation.
I can't do that.
And Chris Rock is a consummate professional. Like, it's not hard to argue that he's one of the top black comedians in the country.
Yep.
I don't think anybody's going to fight
for a long time,
and has been for a long time. And yes, he is a little bit more of a corporate comic in a sense. He's not as raw as Chappelle or Murphy or
him and Chris Tucker tend to toe the same line,
and they do. But at the same time, you also have this thing where, as an artist himself, Will understands the implications behind what he did walking on that stage. And there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about. There was an article that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote on it, and Will, I'm sure you probably read it, and I want to get your input on it. But Tyler, I want to kick a question to you on this, because in some of the stuff that I've seen as people have been talking about it, now the George Washington series of episodes is going to come when we bring this series back. We're just going to get drunk and chew on wood and tell lies. So Tyler, I wanted to get your question on this, and being on the mental health side of the experience and stuff like that. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation that Will Smith is a method actor. Do you think that his methods in diving in to the role of Richard Williams for the movie that he got Best Actor for that night, do you think that had an impact on it? Like, he was still kind of in that headspace, or do you think it was definitely a deeper issue?
That's a really good question. That's not what I expected you to ask me, actually. That's a good question. I was going to clarify this at some point tonight. I have no clue, like, what has gone on between the Smiths as a family and that whole relationship. Like, I'm so lost on the.
I'm going to talk on that a little bit.
Okay, you're good. That's okay.
I've done a
focus on what you know. No worries.
So,
there's some issues with Jada and Chris.
It seems like, I figure it's mostly stemming from that. I don't know. I mean, maybe, but man, he's been doing this for a while now. So I don't know. I mean, I guess possibly, but it's my understanding that there's some underlying stuff between the two of them that probably fueled it.
So for those who don't know, they are in an open relationship. But Jada did still kind of, when they're in an open relationship, to go on her show Red Table Talk and act like she's admitting to this affair was cold-hearted, and it has never, ever since then, Will has been painted in a negative light,
right?
Because it doesn't look good on him. But I also wanted to say, I said this before the show, I've been a Will Smith fan since I was a kid, and this is why I'm kind of torn on this subject, is because he's always been this very positive figure. He doesn't cuss his music. He cusses on his shows and movies here and there, but it doesn't use a lot of it. And God, if you watch his TikToks or his Facebook or anything, he's always about positivity and reaching for your goals. And this, to me, and Seven, I didn't think about it until you asked that question just now, but this to me is so out of character for him. Will is always composed, always seems like he's thinking 5 moves ahead, and you never have ever seen him lash out in this manner. And for him to not take a second and think, hey, I'm not on nationwide TV, I'm on worldwide TV right now. Everyone around the world is going to see this, and it is a really bad look, and I would say pushes his success back a lot. And I mean, if the Academy ends up removing him, which they're thinking about, it's going to end his career.
You're talking about suspending him like he part of a sports team. Come on, man. But the thing that gets me the most, if you go back and look at Jada, she was sitting there laughing at the whole thing. Bruh, get the heck out of town. You sitting there laughing at the whole thing and still trying to watch out for your husband. But
then, on that same note, the reaction of everybody after all that to still clap for him and everything after when he won and I get it. Will has been fighting to get Best Picture or Best Male Actor for years.
Yep.
For a very, very long time. And I hate that it got overshadowed because he deserves it. But for the whole crowd to still give him a standing O was a little. I kind of got to agree with Jim Carrey. It's not a good look on Hollywood.
There was a few bad looks in this situation because you had Coda winning what is Best Picture that Coda won, wasn't it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Questlove winning Best Documentary.
I don't get that, but that's just me.
And you know what? And whether or not you agree with who won, let's take that part out of the equation because that's a completely different discussion. Because the Oscars gets all of those right 100% of the time, right?
Nice.
But we have these two remarkable achievements that were overshadowed by Will Smith relocating Chris Rock's taste to backstage, and it's definitely a bad look for that. And then you have. Will kind of talked about the Academy saying that they were going to be investigating it, looking at consequences, or Josie said it, sorry, looking at possibly removing him. And we have, when they released that they were doing that investigation, it was confirmed that they asked him to leave after that because one of the growing criticisms after the event was why he was allowed to stay. He was allowed to stay because he refused to leave. And I can't for the life of me justify that being an option to refuse to leave. If I slap the shit out of somebody in a McDonald's, I'm getting dragged out by the security guard and the two tweakers that are trying to steal the food.
There was no way they were going to remove him where he was sitting. There was no way they would have been able to remove him from where he was sitting without it causing another scene.
Another thing too, another thing that kind of gets me, guys.
It would have caused more of a scene and more of a distraction, and they were just trying to get the show done at that point.
Another thing that sort of kind of bothers me in all this, you sitting on the front row. So when you're sitting on the front row for a comic, that's like almost telltale you're going to get heckled at some point. You on the front row.
You put a target on your face.
You put a target on your back. Yeah.
You sit at the front row of the comedy show, and I'm telling you that as a comic. If you don't want to get made fun of, sit the damn back.
Like one thing, though, I do want to say on this, and I want to get someone who hasn't spoken yet's opinion on this.
It's Kay's turn.
Being all quiet over there.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt, but
the queen of the run-in.
This is my thought, and this. So this comes from, as I've been transitioning, more and more do I get prepared for that one asshole. Oh, speaking of assholes.
I mean, the timing on saying asshole and Dan getting here is just fucking impeccable.
What up, bro?
I did it on purpose. What's up, yo?
But it comes from, I'm expecting that one asshole to make comments to me. Like, it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. This is the thing. Jada has talked before that she has alopecia. She is losing her hair. Right. She has said she doesn't find it funny. It bugs her. So was Rock wrong for making the joke in knowing that?
Okay.
Well, we don't know that he did know that, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's very publicized.
I didn't know about that shit until after the Oscars. Not everybody watches shit like that.
The joke was not practiced. It was not rehearsed. He came with it off the cuff in the moment.
Josie, didn't TMZ report that too?
Yeah, it was all over the place.
It was all over the place.
I've researched it. It's in several things.
Here's okay.
Right.
So with the, with this, the joke being about the bald head and G.I. Jane. Okay. I understand that there are a lot of cultures, and especially it is more common amongst women to be very sensitive about their hair. And I get that. And that's why I wanted to make sure that Kay was here, because I want to get more perspective, and especially the sensitivity around things like that. Would you like, if you were, so let's take the fact, we're going to pull it back a bit. Let's take the fact it's just a group out and about. You are in an issue where you're losing your hair. Somebody makes a joke about it. Do you expect Tyler to go over and smack the shit out of him?
Never been through that before.
No, I mean, I've never particularly, okay, if somebody says something and it's going to make me mad, I'm going to either slap them or go the fuck off. Like, I'm not going to get anybody else to do it. Like,
get him, Kay.
I have a terrible temper when I get mad.
Yeah.
But that being said, I have grown up with a lot of people that have, tended to pick on things that were sensitive subjects. And I've gotten a little bit of a thicker skin with that. And, you just kind of play into it. But I do understand that when you're sensitive to something, you are. And there's not, in a way, it's kind of like it was nobody's fault. Like, I don't blame him for making the joke because it is something, right? But at the same time, he could have had better taste with it. He could have. Right. He may not have known, but at the same time, we don't know what it's like to be a celebrity. They might keep tabs on each other. They might not. It's hard to say. But her getting upset, I don't even think it would have been something that would have been planned. It would have been just a knee-jerk reaction if it was something that was truly bothering her. And I had also, I looked into this a little bit too, because I was kind of confused on a lot of this stuff, but they have had a lot of jokes at their expense for their relationship and different things here recently, and have been, I guess, a little, ready to be defensive about things. And I think it's just a bunch of circumstances that led into it. But with her, I don't know. I can't say that I blame her for getting upset for something like that, but at the same time, it's not like, it's going to sound bad. It's alopecia. It's not like it's cancer, right? Like, she's not dying.
Yeah, but you have to understand one thing for Black women everywhere. Their hair is a thing.
That's true.
When you lose that, it affects you mentally.
There's some nice ass wigs, though.
Yeah, but the thing about it, wigs won't solve your problem completely.
Yeah,
that's true.
But that's the one thing about the culture.
I guess that's something that I wouldn't. Yeah, like
that's one thing about the culture. Hair is a big deal,
but she really has had short hair for a long time.
She has.
And I mean, she looks good as fuck with short hair too.
Well,
like, it's always looked good.
She's always had some kind of punk rocker look because of her band, the metal band. Like, she's always had
a metal band?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
She was
Hey.
there for a while. There for several years, she was Warped Tour. Like, she was on Warped Tour, and Will was known to be backstage.
What are they called?
Give me a second.
She's still okay. I don't like her. I
got Apple Music at the ready.
I don't like her. I don't like Jada, but she is beautiful. I ain't gonna say in front. Hair or not, she's beautiful regardless.
Wicked wisdom.
Okay. Now, all right. So we're at a breaking point here while Josie's trying to look that up. So Dan, do you Wicked wisdom. Okay. So Dan, did you support Will slapping the taste out of Chris Rock?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Will Smith is upset because he's wearing the horns of the cuckold. He has worn the horn. He has worn the horns of the cuckold.
That man is brainwashed.
And he is. Yeah. Apparently, he turned into Richard Williams in the middle of that. All right, so the whole thing is about him standing up for and like being the big man and all this stuff. That's the most cowardly thing to do. What is Chris Rock supposed to do? Just square up? Chris Rock has no idea that's coming. You could tell that he was so confused about why he just got hit in the face that he didn't know what to do. Like, that was clearly what happened. Like,
I would have known what to do.
That's what everybody says, Will. But would you have?
I don't know what to do.
You're on stage at the Oscars, bro, and somebody just comes up out of nowhere and
I
slaps
don't
you.
know
Yeah.
what to do.
You're
My
just gonna
back
be
kinda
shocked
broke.
You say
for 10
that.
minutes.
You can
I
say
don't know
that.
what to do.
I'm not going to be on
I've been
stage.
through it
at
already.
Oscars.
Hey,
I've been through it already. Somebody
you
walked
have-
up to me. I've
but
already
it's
been through it.
different. Will, you've
Will,
got
clearly you have never been through that.
people's eyes on you, over a couple
Yeah.
million people's eyes on you.
Mhm.
You are in front of those lights. You're not expecting it. And you could tell Chris didn't even see Will till he was pretty up on him because of the lights. And so all of a sudden he's walking up and he got smacked. What pisses me off is people trying to say Chris was wearing a cheek pad and all this shit.
Oh no!
And
Oh no! I'm not saying I wouldn't have taken the hit. I'm
No,
not saying
but
that.
in that
I would
moment,
have took the hit.
you don't know that you're gonna act because you're shocked. You're not expecting
happened
it.
to me
It's
before.
coming out of nowhere. Your adrenaline's already gonna be
Happened
high.
to me 2 years
from
ago.
being in that
Happened to me 2
situation.
years ago in a Publix.
I
But
do
it's
know, Will,
different
that
when
you
you
get
have
the
a
chance.
million
At
and
the
eyes on you.
Oscars.
Right. Well, I know that you get the chance on a nightly basis because of Pinfall Streams to be on screen in front of millions of people, okay? But it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing as getting slapped at the Oscars. But dude, he had no idea what was going on. Okay, so I get what you're saying. Like, I want to know what to do. After I get off stage, fuck yeah, I know what I'm doing. Absolutely, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
The thing is,
yeah.
that's where this should have been handled at in
Right,
the first
right.
place.
Exactly.
If Will gets
right.
mad, be honest. If you're going to be a big man about it, go backstage and confront him as a man rationally. Like, just
Right.
don't
Yeah.
talk to him about it. If you want to hit him in the face, then hit him in the face. Don't do it while he's trying to do a fucking stand-up routine at the Oscars. Like, that's the
It's-
most cowardly thing. He knew he couldn't do anything to him. He wouldn't
Just
do anything
like-
anyways, Chris Rock. But Chris Rock's wiry, bro. I don't know. Skinny guys.
It's just like we talked about. He's got Will Smith has an easy 50 pounds on Chris Rock. Why
Don't
couldn't
matter.
he just wait? What do you have to walk up and hit him unexpected? What was the advantage there? It's not like he needed it. So Shah, I wanted to kick this to you. I know that you said, because like you didn't know about the alopecia thing until the Oscars.
I didn't either.
There is, and I'd seen something about it, but I wasn't sure. But Shaw, I wanted to kick this to you because obviously there's pictures. Will and Chris and Jada have known each other for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you think the fact that they did have somewhat of a personal relationship at different points, do you think that had an impact on Will's decision to just get up on stage and slap the shit out of him?
I mean, probably like they know each other, so they probably have that kind of knowledge that that they're both kind of from the same kind of area, kind of.
Right.
I think. I
West
guess.
Philadelphia?
So. I don't
Born
know
and
if they've had
raised.
any issues with each other.
Born and raised, cuz.
That fight prepared Will for this on the plane.
Born and raised, cuz. West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yeah. They don't tell you in the intro to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it was Will that started the fight from those kids that were up to no good.
Sure
Slap
don't.
him.
Sure don't.
Slapped a
They
young
admit
man.
that. They admit that little fact.
Started way back then. Way
Yep.
back then, before he went to
It's-
Bel Air.
And so there have been a couple of things that have been pointed out. Like if you go and you
Fight
watch
Club.
the video, imagine it was Kanye. I like what KW said there. Imagine if Kanye gets up on stage while Pete Davidson is presenting and tries to do some shit, I don't know, throw macaroni and cheese at him, spit a fire beat, whatever he's in the
How
mood
about
for.
Kanye on Kevin Hart? Because that's a little bit more comparable.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, honestly, the black on black thing matters. I'm not joking.
No, and you know what? You're right.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right, I'll give you that. Yeah. So, Michael Cheese making jokes at the Oscars or a music show, and Kanye walks up and slaps him. There's
Is Michael Cheese black?
Michael
Yeah.
Chi. Yeah, he's the
Oh,
one
Cheese.
that he's
I thought you said
yeah
cheese.
the one that's the black anchor on Weekend Update on SNL.
Yep.
All right. So
You
the
watch
next thing I want to
SNL?
talk about is this
Che,
article.
Michael Che.
Yeah.
Che,
You watch
sorry.
SNL?
My
I
bad.
was thinking.
Yeah, he's in SNL.
You watch SNL?
I don't watch it on Saturday nights, but I watch the clips. I watch it
Oh.
usually on Sunday while I'm
Gotcha. Okay.
prepping for my Sunday night show and stuff. I'll put it on in the background.
Okay.
I'm glad you messed the name Che up first because I was going to do it later.
Yeah.
But so Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did an opinion piece. I think it dropped Wednesday, and he talked about how one of the reasons why this whole thing was bad was because of the fact that it furthers stereotypes on the Black community. Will, I'm going to kick this. Obviously, I'm not going to be a dumb shit and try to answer this myself. It's not my area of expertise. So, Will, I'm going to kick this to you.
It's only half Will's.
It's half. I'll kick this to you first, Will. What did you think about what Kareem said? Did you agree with it? Disagree? How did it make you feel?
I disagree with him entirely. If it was me and my girl in that same situation, I was attracted to destroying real women, and most of the time, whatever girl I'm with will go up and handle whatever situation, as long as it's not physical. As long as it's not physical, she would handle it herself. And if she tells you, and if she tells me, I got this, babe, handle your business. So I don't agree with Kareem. I understand Kareem's very old school. He's old school. He's old school in his thoughts, and I don't agree with him at all. I think he's wrong.
100%. Word.
Kareem has yet to modernize his way of thinking toward a lot of things.
Right.
A lot of things.
Have you guys seen that the new HBO show about the Lakers?
Yep.
I want to watch
in
that.
the 80s. Dude, it's great.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I want to watch that.
They get Magic like on point. He looks exactly like young Magic Johnson. It's unreal. They do pretty well with
from the commercials. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. I like went back and looked at old Magic pictures, and I was like, oh my god, they get it super close. They do Kareem well too, and they just make Kareem out to be an absolute dick the whole time. Like he was just a dick, basically. Like that's
because he was.
Yeah, they just how they portray.
He is still kind of a dick.
I mean, he was on Dave recently on FX, and he interviews Dave, and that's the whole thing too. Is like he just is he's very like I don't know. He's very abrasive with everybody about it. If you don't agree with his views, it's like you're not for black people. You're not. Yeah, you're not for black people. It's like, come on, man. Like he's very rigid.
If you don't agree with his way of thinking, you're against the cause.
It's exactly. It's super strange.
It's super weird.
It is. Weird.
Okay, Tyler. I'm going to kick this to you from your perspective. There was one of the things that's come out since like either last night or the night before, or it was last night. Yeah, last night. Chris had his first show since the Oscars, and obviously his ticket sales have jumped. There's one ticket site that I saw that in the 24 hours after the Oscars, they did more Chris Rock ticket sales than they had the entire month before. Do you think and so he gets on stage, his greeting, so how was your weekend? And then, he tells everybody he's not going to talk about it. There will come a time he's still processing stuff like that. For me, it felt like, that there's almost a trauma thing in that, is that you kind of have to take that time to process it before you morph it into comedy. Do you think that's really kind of like what he's really kind of just going through, is because he was slapped on national TV? That's a trauma. So do you think there's any connection there for why he's kind of just been very quiet about it outside of his statements?
Potentially. And, I'm going to say that it's honestly probably equal parts just what it is. I mean, the world's eyes are on this situation. So I'm sure he's kind of watching what he puts out there at the moment.
And right now he looks really, really good. So
right.
He doesn't, honestly, he doesn't have to do much.
Yeah. And, I'm kind of changing gears, but since you mentioned Kareem's article, I wanted to mention this. So you mentioned earlier that, I work in mental health. I used to be exclusively a youth therapist. I used to work only with kids aged 5 to 17. Did that for almost 2 years. And in Kareem's article, he had mentioned that, Will Smith is Will Smith. He obviously has huge influence at this point. He's been around for a long time. He's in lots of families, households. People know who Will Smith is. There's probably all kinds of kids that look up to Will Smith, have for a long time. Kids, right. Kids are, you guys are parents. Kids are sponges, man. Kids are sponges. Monkey see, monkey do. There is going to be, I guarantee there is probably already out there right now, just kids doing similar things now because Will Smith did it, Well, that's looked up to Will Smith for so long now. I can do that too, So in that regard, that was kind of what I was trying to say there initially earlier. The manner in which he did what he did in front of everybody, knowing what kind of influence, what kind of impact he has on the whole world, and how influential he can be, especially on a young mind. Terrible.
Absolutely.
I just
Yeah, that he's human though.
I just
It was a human response.
But at the
wasn't
same
something
point,
that was
But it
was a human response in the moment.
Shaw, but it goes back to what you were saying. It wasn't the right response for the situation.
For that time and place, yeah.
And honestly, he gets a pass because all he was going through with data, so he gets a pass for me.
I also think the man's been sort of kind of brainwashed by his wife, because that's not a normal reaction. I don't think any of us on this panel would have done in that same situation.
So
team joke too.
I want to throw a wrench into this here and get your and because obviously it's the Oscars, so you have Will Smith as a method actor, and clearly they had been drinking. It's an open bar for all of those celebrities,
right?
Does that change your expectation of his behavior?
No,
it doesn't excuse it.
Nah.
It doesn't excuse it.
Nah, have some sense.
It goes back to kind of what you were saying earlier, Seven. I try to look at celebrities in the same light as we. If we were at a party like that, if we were at a comedy club, getting drunk, hanging out, and the comic made a comment to something that really hurt one of us, and we got up and slapped him, we'd be going to jail.
Exactly.
Yep.
It didn't matter we were drinking. It didn't matter that he took it too far. It doesn't matter.
Alcohol is never an excuse. It just makes you more the person you already are.
It kind of shows me how out of touch.
I really agree with that one. I don't know. I think that go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
With alcohol, it affects people differently, and yeah, it makes irrational behavior much more common. But that kind of doesn't excuse him. But like Shah said, he's not a bad person because he did this. This was something that a lot of people in his position would have done it. We wouldn't have maybe done it, but that's not to say that a lot of other people wouldn't have done it. Like, it's
right,
especially with alcohol involved, and it being, all the stuff that we had already talked about with their history and things that's been going on. Like, it is something that it's not hard to see him doing it, but it doesn't make it right. And he should have that conscious thing about, he is a celebrity. He does have an impactful image and all that stuff like that. So, but in the heat of the moment, and again, yeah, like alcohol could make some people be, I guess, a little bit more honest, as it were, but it can make you do things that you would never want to do normally.
Right.
Tyler,
go ahead.
Oh, hey, Tyler, I had a question for you. You said you work in mental health, right?
Yeah.
Does it concern you at all? Because I thought about this. Does it concern you at all that Will Smith went from 0 to 100 like that, though? Because you can see right before it happens that he's actually laughing. How out of touch is he? How out of touch is he with his own emotions? When
I think it had nothing to do with his own emotions. It was
pantomiming.
The look that Jada shot him.
I know, but he's pantomiming a laugh there. Clearly, that's just a yes, good joke, right? He's just, I'm at the Oscars, front row, and then to snap it.
Then I got that
because she looked at you
laugh.
like that. Like, how out of touch is this individual, do you think? Like, just as far as...
I think that was more that I just didn't register right away. Like, sometimes things don't immediately register, immediately. So it takes, a good second for it to realize, oh, wait.
That's true, too.
That's
true, too.
It was an alopecia joke.
Show laughing.
It was an alopecia joke.
I think that's where
it wasn't an alopecia joke. It was a shaved head joke.
Yeah, it was a shaved head joke.
It was an alopecia
and it was a team joke, too.
Still, even if it was an alopecia joke.
It was a shaved head joke, and it was actually a compliment saying, "Hey, you could be in this movie."
But that movie did. I mean,
mind you, there is some underlying thing where that actress cheated on her husband with a younger man, so that maybe that is a little added.
But
horns of a cuckold.
I think
exactly,
I think
Mr. Jada Smith.
I think his 0 to 60 reaction absolutely ties probably 95% into whatever has gone on between them in the past, which it seems like it's a deal of, things have happened. I've been made look a certain way on TV before. I got to look like a man now, type of deal.
Exactly. I think
Ain't no
he
bitch.
thought he should have done it. I think he thought that he should have. I don't think he wanted to. I think that he thought he should have for some reason.
Because
Now, there was one thing I wanted to say. I was reading on one of this, and they went into all of this and how this stems back to why Jaden is gay. One, Jaden is not gay. He's bi and just non-gendered. Two, they went into his estranged wife and their son and how their open relationship led to all this. And I have to say, like, I've been having this argument because, as most people here know and people watching, like, I am polyamorous. I have been before. Even though my relationship that I was recently in has ended, I still consider myself that way. And there are thousands upon thousands of people who have many successful relationships for years in that situation. It can work. Now, even more so than in a monogamous relationship, one of the keys to that relationship working is unbridled communication.
Facts.
Everything has to be on the
Facts.
table.
Facts,
Like,
buddy.
I'm talking everything, to the point that I have some monogamous friends that didn't understand why I told my ex everything, because it was just the only way our relationship was going to work. If everything was on the table, it's not going to work.
I'm cool.
And I'm not
cool with
saying
that till payday.
that monogamous people don't do that too.
Payday come up, I ain't saying nothing.
I'm not saying that monogamous people don't do that too, but just coming from that experience, I know
I ain't saying
that if
shit,
you're not
Payday.
being 100% honest in an open relationship, when the two people are being intimate with other people, things are going to get in the way.
You're right about that.
Even when they're not.
Even when they're not.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
and this is why, like, in relationships, you talk about any relationship book, communication and honesty are your two key points. Because without trust and communication, it doesn't matter whether you're in a monogamous relationship, a polyamorous relationship, or it's you and Rosie Palmer. There's no trust.
man.
There's no success. I'm not wrong.
No.
If
You're right,
there's
though.
no
You're
trust
right.
and there's no communication, there's no
Right.
success.
Right.
And
You're right.
so
You're right, buddy.
you have, and you do have Will, who was forced to sit on TV and have this chick say the things that she did, like that she was still in love with Tupac, like that she, making him hear why she cheated on him before they went into an open relationship. All these things on a internet-wide TV show. Dude became a meme overnight.
Sure about that.
And then you have all of these things continue up to a boiling point of Will Smith and his entanglement with Chris Rock.
But see, Seven, that's what I was saying. All that stuff shouldn't have been brought. If you were protecting your husband, none of that would have been made to the public in the first place. And that's why I say Jada didn't, and to this day doesn't protect Will.
Well,
because she thinks it's a one-way street. I got my husband to protect me. You're not looking out for your husband. You're not looking out for the bag.
But I don't necessarily think that wasn't the point. Yes, that's kind of how it's been taken, but they brought that up and did that show to kind of show that they moved past it and were able to maintain a relationship.
They were on a break when
they did take a break when it happened.
I'm not saying that Will wasn't upset and prepared and unprepared. I'm saying that they were able to move past it. Will knew that she had had an affair before.
Right. He knew
mean
it.
it's not going to be hard to hear.
I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing that to my significant other. I'm just not going that route.
Will needs to drop her, to be honest. Like,
she's very toxic, man. And she
picking up a 20-year-old model or some shit.
Yeah, because she's very toxic. She's very toxic.
Even though it's gonna cost him like half his stuff, just still drop her.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Still drop her.
Oh,
And-
he was famous before they got married. He got a prenup. Shit.
Hopefully he did.
Nah, he was
Well, but,
broke
like-
before they got married. So
if
No,
but-
he had already started
Their
building
Fresh
back
Prince of
up
Bel
when
Air
they
stuff
got
was already
remarried.
going when they met.
yeah.
yeah,
So, but
He's a movie
here's
star
the
yet.
counter to that. She and Shaw, I'll kick this one to you first because you haven't gotten to talk in a minute. She went out, got a 20-year-old model. If he goes out and gets a 20-year-old model, his reputation is completely destroyed.
Yes.
No, it ain't.
and it wasn't it wasn't just that they fucked. It's that he fell in love with her. It wasn't
Right.
just any affair. It was an emotional affair too.
Right.
Like
And,
Yeah.
and
Would've dropped her. Dropped her
to
like a hot
leave
potato.
to put it out there like that in a position to just completely leave him powerless. And you know, and yes, he's done all this stuff where he goes and explores and does different things to try and be positive and live your own power. But even with Sunday Night, we can see there's got to clearly be some overcompensation issues going on. At least that's kind of how I'm feeling. Tyler, what do you think?
Absolutely, yeah, and you worded that well. Just at the time of whatever was going on, feeling powerless about that situation. Well, he was like, okay, well, I'm going to be powerful this time. I'm gonna, I'm gonna do my. I'm gonna slap Chris Rock this time.
I'm gonna smack the taste out his mouth.
Yeah. Which I completely get the thoughts and feelings going into that, but again, just wrong place, wrong time.
Right.
He saw the color red and went off.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. Obviously, the Academy has said they're looking at punishing Will. It could be suspension, fining, removal. We'll give everybody a shot on this. Just a quick thought. Will, what do you think they're going to end up doing?
At the end of the day, nothing. He's too big of a star, I think, to keep out. It would be nice to see them do it just to make sure that other people don't have that same inclination of doing it. So it would be nice to see him maybe get suspended for a year. I just don't think they got the balls to do it because of the backlash.
How do you suspend an actor?
Exactly.
You suspend him from the Academy.
You can suspend him from the Academy for a certain amount of time.
That's a big deal because that means no picture he's in can get nominated, and nobody will cast him because of that.
And Josie, let me ask you this too.
But
Let me ask you
that's
this.
all the producers and stuff, because every prize they win, that's money. That's another picture. That's all they do care about. So,
And Josie, let me ask you this.
If they know an actor can't get nominated, they're not going to pick him for a movie.
And just let me ask you this too. Like I said before, when you protect each other, you essentially protect the bag. So if Will gets suspended for a certain amount of time, the bag is as a whole between husband and wife is affected. Because I haven't seen Jada do anything recently.
No, red table talk. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. So you affect the bag. So if she just would have said it's not worth it.
I thought The Matrix just came out. Did it not?
she's just but he's not the draw for that movie.
I'm totally kidding.
And also didn't make
Okay.
it either.
All right. So, Shah, I'll kick this to you next. Do you think the Academy will do anything? If so, what?
They kind of have to because the public, but they don't want to. But they have to for just the show, because what Will did brought more viewers to that show. Because the Oscars has been irrelevant for like the past, 20 years, 30 years?
I heard that even with him, it didn't still bring that big of numbers to the show.
Wow.
They've gotten more after views than during.
It's been like, it was like 50-something% more than it's been for the last couple of years.
Mm.
So it's like they don't want to. And this ain't the first time something like that has happened on the show, though.
Yeah,
That was gonna, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
piggyback on you for that one, Shaw, because I was gonna say, John Wayne tried to attack an indigenous woman at the Academy Awards one year, like literally had to be held back. Sean
Because she was
Penn
asking
has
for
been
ending
nominated
mistreatment
year
of-
after year after year, when it is known throughout Hollywood that the man is guilty of multiple assaults.
Mhm.
There's tons of other things that have shrouded the Oscars in controversy, in the fact that you haven't had many black men win Best Actor until the last couple of years.
Right.
And so
they didn't get
they
cast
have
apart
to
for one
punish
time.
them. They can't not, They're gonna have to do something. It's not gonna be a suspension. It's not gonna be a revoke. It's gonna be money, and I don't know if us as a public will ever find out the amount of money, but it's gonna be a fine of some sort. Because at this point they can't afford. Hollywood can't afford to not have Will Smith. He's one of the
That's what I'm
bigger
saying.
black
I don't think they'll do it
actors
because of backlash. Yeah.
right.
And
in
him
the
not
world.
wanting to press charges makes a big difference.
Yeah,
too.
Chris not
Yep,
pressing
yep.
charges.
Yep.
So now there's not going to be any criminal action.
Yeah.
So
And they
the
both
Academy,
apologized to each other like 2 days after.
Yeah.
the Academy is the only governing body that's going to get involved in this. So they've got to do something. I don't see anything more than money.
Okay, what do you think?
I honestly don't know. It's hard. The public is a very strong factor these days. Just internet outrage has the power to sway nations at this point, and whether that's good or bad, that's a whole nother topic.
Karen's.
But
if cancel culture was going to get them, they would have already got it.
They already got that. Yeah, they already done it.
Right. Yeah. So that's and again, it is kind of for however many celebrities there are, it's still a fairly tight knit community, and they so it's been irrelevant for many years to the general public. A lot of people, my parents, watch all of these award shows that have every year forever. So it's always been something in our family, right? But overall, most people don't care, but they care with each other. You know what I'm saying? So but they're gonna want to deal with this on their own terms. That again, who knows what it's like to be these people.
Right.
They've got their own opinions, and that having that much money, you see the shows and things, that everyone thinks about things a little bit differently. They have different priorities.
Right.
Okay. All right. So Tyler, I'm going to go to you last because I have another question after it. But Dan, I'm going to send that question to you next. Do you think the Academy is going to do anything? If so, what?
They ain't going to do shit to Will Smith. They're not going to do shit to Will Smith. He's ironclad, baby. He's good.
I just don't think they can get away with not doing anything.
I actually have a fresh take on this.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan, not Michael Jordan's son. Just so everybody gets that out of the. Apparently that's a thing. Number two, Tyler, have you thought about doing any play-by-play work? Because you have a voice like Audio Velvet. I'm not lying to you.
I want
that thing
to do
is
commentary.
Fantastic.
Thank you. I want to do commentary so bad. I want to do it so bad I can't.
You are Kevin Harlan way younger.
I know that's a great comparison.
LeBron James with no regard for human life. You could do some
LeBron end up on this show, man. Come on, man.
Give Will a break. Show.
Give me a break, man.
Give me a mic. Give me a headset on a wrestling show. I want it so bad.
You and me, Tyler. You and me on a table.
Off subject, but let's get that going somehow.
Tyler,
Pinfall, you have ad revenue. Get that fucking shit going. Let's get a big.
Tyler, you and me on the table. That's gonna happen.
I'll put one of those presidential. I'll put one of those presidential signs in my front yard.
Shut up, Seven.
Okay, so
out there.
One more thing. Seven. Okay. One more thing. No, for real though. If nobody has even mentioned yet, I think the biggest thing here that nobody's mentioned, and I'm not saying this is 100% true because obviously we don't really know. This could be the biggest conspiracy in the history. What did this do? Oh, did it make Will Smith famous? Did it help out the Oscars and viewership? Is Chris Rock getting his show watched now?
He had a huge boost in ticket sales.
Yep.
Is there so much revenue flowing through this thing that it's just it's a freaking it's literally the pinnacle of conspiracy phantasm, and nobody has even
done this shit before, though.
It could be a
They've done this shit before, though. Eminem and Sacha Baron Cohen. That shit was staged.
They've done this before. Body language and some of his body language hints to he knew it was coming. I'm not saying anything else, but
thing is, he's a way better actor for it to be not obvious to be fake. He's a way better actor. He could have, for that look, he's a way better actor.
Maybe Rock didn't know, but Will Smith and all the people behind the Oscars had it done, and so they can get a natural reaction out of Chris Rock. So it's like he has plausible deniability. You just don't tell Rock you're doing it.
Yeah.
They know Rock's not going to press charges. They know Rock's not going to press charges. They know Will Smith can act. Bam.
Man, I've seen fruit by the foot with less of a stretch on that part, man. I don't know about that.
Hey, Will Smith ain't got a cuss in his rap to sell records. Well, I do, so fuck him and fuck you too.
I don't know. Damn, what's in that glass, man?
You don't want to know.
What's in that glass, man?
PBR, baby.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
There you go.
The nectar of the gods.
There you go.
Okay. All right, so Tyler, I'm gonna kick that question to you, and then I'm gonna ask you another one. So, do you think the Academy is gonna do a thing? If so, what?
Kind of agreeing with Kay. It'll probably be something, I'm sure, but
Symbolic.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really have much to do with that whole industry and how the politicking works and all that good stuff. I'm sure they'll do something, but given he is Will Smith, I don't think it's going to be too catastrophic.
Slap on the wrist.
It's going to be money, which is nothing to him.
Right.
I can't help it. Just here, 3-0, and that's a strike outside. Every time I hear it now, I'm just getting like, can you just call my life, bro? If I just walk around the room, will you be like, he goes to the TV, all right, he's got a 2-1 count, drinking another beer. Maybe one too many. Maybe one too many. We'll see. We'll see if he's drinking.
We're going to see in this second half now. Oh, there we go. Another sip of the PBR. He's
hey.
Okay.
You just made Dick's life.
Man.
All right, so
I'll Venmo you.
PayPal.
Hourly. PayPal. Gotcha.
All right, so Tyler, I'll kick this to you. You have somebody that comes and sits down for therapy session. You find out they just slapped the shit out of somebody for making a bald joke about their wife with alopecia. Okay. What are some of the things that you would just instinctually in exercises start to consider recommending for things to give them the ability to walk themselves back from that and into a place where they're controlling themselves?
That's such a good question, Host 7. Sorry.
My supervisor told me something really. It's really simple, but sometimes you just forget these things in the moment. Supervisor told me recently that before you can really make sense of any type of situation, the conversation was about ADHD at the time. That's what we were talking about at the time. Before someone can really sit down and make sense of a situation, you got all kinds of emotional stimuli going on. Things are happening. Your brain is racing. You got to take a step back and relax. I mean, without even getting into any, all right, how old were you when this started? Tell me, where did it all start? Laying on the psychiatrist's couch and all that good stuff. Like, before you even get into any of that stuff, sometimes it helps just to know how to handle moment by moment things, kind of in the now rather than digging into the past, digging into the underlying issues. It helps to know the now. It helps to be able to deal with the now. Relaxation techniques is what she told me. I had some clients that they had ADHD, adults with ADHD, and having unmedicated, had trouble focusing on stuff.
There's like
She quickly raised her hand, boy. Real quick.
Bring yourself down first. Kind of try to ground yourself before you can do a whole lot of other stuff. I would, that'd be in there for sure. Some de-escalation.
Okay. One who recently got to a point where they ended up in a place that to get that help. Deep breathing has been one of my biggest coping skills in the last 2 months. If it weren't for being able to take a deep breath and refocus, Seven, you understand it, Will, like when that mind gets racing with ADHD and the anxiety on top of it, and major depression disorder, like it is all you can do to tell your brain to shut up. And it's mentally, physically exhausting. And if it weren't for deep breathing and finding meditation, I don't know if I could have made y'all know some of the last 2 months of my life. I don't know if I could have made it through. So he's got to figure out a way to compartmentalize. If it's moving on from Jada, if it's whatever, he's got to figure a way to move past it.
There's a therapy technique that I was talking with my therapist about. It was something about whenever you go to ground yourself, you focus either, depending on the situation, and either internal or external force. So, sometimes it's better to stop and think inside, just try to gather your thoughts, focus on that. But what usually worked for me was to do the outside, focus on how your clothes feel on your skin, how the air feels, just how your breathing feels, and it just completely distracts your brain from everything that's going on, and it helps bring you back in a pretty solid way, especially like when you get really upset and like you cannot stand the feeling of things, like that's a really bad one. And then just bringing it back in by just, instead of letting it bother you, just focusing on it in a positive way, like that shit works. Like
it does.
It sounds super corny in practice. Like when you're sitting trying to tell somebody who is having these complex issues that you don't understand because you don't experience them. I feel silly sometimes telling people to take a deep breath, but it works. It does.
Oh my God.
It does.
And I tell you, the greatest technique I learned was that it's the hold. It's the 4-second holding. You take that deep breath, you hold it. That to me is everything. Like I can literally, if I hold that 4 seconds, I let it go, I can feel everything in that second, just leaving my body, myself calming down. I had one of the worst anxiety attacks of my life the other day. I'm in a fight with my family, but anyway, that deep breathing saved me. Cause like, I'm telling you, to the point, like my fingers were throbbing. I was pointing my vision, like a really bad anxiety attack. If it weren't for deep breathing, I don't know if I would have made it through it.
And Josie, it's so simplistic in practice too, because
I was one of those people. It's like, this is stupid. This is never going to work.
When you say the 4-second thing, it's a lot about you just concentrating on the 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yep.
it's just getting you outside of it. It's just getting you outside of it for long enough, and you're concentrating on something else, because at that point, it really is just over magnification of thought.
Yeah. Well, and the way you do it is you take a deep breath for 6 seconds. So that starts your mind thinking on something else. Then you have to think of the count for 4, and then you release it for 6 seconds. And so you've just done 20 seconds of thinking of nothing but that count.
Do you see big numbers in your head? Like
yes.
While you're okay, I do too.
Yes.
I do it different.
We'll go ahead and then Shah, I want to get you next.
I do it different. I get on my punching bag and go to town.
And you need that physical release too. That's my next step, is trying to find that once I get some money coming in, I'm probably going to try and look at some judo or something, because definitely need it.
Man, when I was doing jiu-jitsu, that was the best, especially because we would run at the beginning of it. Just running is so fantastic for when you're mad. If I get super upset, I take off. It doesn't matter where I'm at. Somebody better be looking for me, because I just ran so fucking far away.
She don't need no running coordinator. She just start running.
Oh my God.
Never been so fast in my life. Forrest Gump technique.
Forrest Gump technique, boy.
I did that.
Live like a box of chocolates.
We went to Virginia Beach, and I just fucking took off. Shit happened, and yeah, that was a good day.
I was running.
Shah, what about you? When you need to walk yourself back, what's your process?
Well, see, for me, I've always had anger problems. Like since I was young, I would like take it, and then explode. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when I was younger, I was kicked out of like a whole bunch of schools before even going to junior high. Like I was kicked out of.
Never have pegged you for that, Shah.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a long time of control.
Look at his avatar.
Like I was at a point where sometime after high school, I was at a point where it's like I knew I had to get out of certain situations, because if I would have fought someone, I would not have been able to control myself. So it started with like music, a lot of different video games, like playing card games and playing racing games mostly, and really just being to myself. And like I think the biggest thing for me was comic book superheroes, movies, cartoons, TV shows, or whatever. Like something to occupy my mind, to think about. Like the whole reason why I really got into doing the podcast with William is because I like having something to say and talking about it. Like gets emotions out and like that, just like spending my whole life pushing things aside, not being able to talk about things, not being able to do certain things, having an outlet to actually get stuff out. it really, matters to me. You know what I mean? Like that. So yeah, I mean, there's certain different outlets I have that lead to the control of anger and stuff. So yeah.
Dan, what about you? Anything else to add on that?
I call that being the trash compactor, by the way. You take everything and shove it as deep down as you can. It's like a pneumatic trash compactor. Just get it in there until it's like a magnet at the bottom. Two magnets trying to push each other together, and then they fly off the handle. But anything to add on it? No, you guys did a great job. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Hey, this looks like Hollywood Squares right now.
And then Will dropped out.
Will was like, "Fuck you, Dan," in your Hollywood Squares.
For me, it's it's kind of there's different things that are combinations of what you guys said, and like for me, music is a big part of my day. I don't know, sometimes you can see my Alexa speaker back here, almost always has music going through it when I'm working or when I'm going through my day, and then also the breathing. That disconnect there, getting your mind. A lot of times when we're overstimulated and our emotions are so volatile, it's literally because our mind is so overwhelmed by the situation or all of the situations that are being brought onto us that it's almost like it's a short circuit. That fight or flight kicks in. You may not be physically surrounded, but almost being emotionally surrounded. And so when you take that thing that gives you the ability to disconnect, whether it's running, music, video games, boxing, sometimes you just got to have one of those where you go into the closet and rub one out to get rid of the stress. We're all adults. It happens.
Josie stayed in the closet for a long time.
Oh, God damn it. Dan, no.
Count it.
I'm no longer in the closet, damn it.
I know.
Yeah, now he's in the basement.
Proud of you.
Now I'm in the
proud of you.
But anyway, so it's important to find those things to
out and proud in the basement.
To bring yourself back to reality, because a moment of anger can cost far more consequences. Because if if Chris wanted to press charges,
he could have.
What's Will gonna say? I didn't do that, bro. Millions of people saw you do that. Like, this isn't an Urkel moment. You go, did I do that? Yeah, you did that, bro. You did that.
I know we need to close out, but
we're gonna start wrapping up here in a second.
Put on that because in the last.
Go ahead with your closing thoughts first, Josie.
Well, I just also wanted to say on top of that, like the last year, my anger has been out of control, and that was a big part of what I wanted to get under control. And I can honestly say in the last 2 months, I have only had one like violent physical lash out, which is awesome for me in the past. And so I understand like you've got to figure out where the anger is coming from. You've got to pinpoint it and you've got to get past it. As someone who tends to focus a lot on the past and things that happened to me in the past, it will eat you alive. From the inside.
Absolutely.
Let it go. Let it go.
Exactly.
But my thought on this is Will fucked up. He's gonna, even if the Academy doesn't punish him, he's going to feel the wrath of this for a while.
The internet is a ruthless place.
Yeah.
All that rap looked right into his wallet too.
If you just look at the Pinfall host chat, you can see half the memes that have been made off of it.
TNT's running a Will Smith day next week. Not a joke.
Are you serious?
I walked into a gas station yesterday and they're playing Getting Jiggy with It. Not kidding.
No. Wild West is one of the masterpieces of film.
Wow. Listen, I love Wild West.
I love that movie.
It's such a good
movie.
And that song plays on the radio station at work all the time. Like before this happened, and I was so happy the first time I heard that. Now it's getting kind of old, but still. Oh God.
Go back and watch the dude, the guy that plays what's his name? The dude who's the half guy in the wheelchair thing.
Oh yeah.
Never in the name of the South do we lose our sense of humor. I love that part, dude. It's one of the greatest parts of any movie of all time. Go back and watch it. Seriously, you guys.
I need to.
This dude's awesome. Yeah, it's I
can't remember who plays him.
Dude, he's super famous. Yeah,
So
Arliss Loveless. Yeah, he's super famous.
okay,
Anyway,
so quick funny thing about that movie. If you go watch the original Kevin Smith special, An Evening with Kevin Smith, he tells a story about when he was approached to work on writing for this Superman movie with Nick Cage. Okay, and he's telling the story about how the director wanted to have the villain as a big ass mechanical spider.
I've seen this joke.
And then the movie fell apart, and lo and behold, what comes out next?
that was him. Okay.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah, I
They made
remember
that joke
that,
in
and it
Superman
was
Doomsday.
the same director. Yeah,
It was the same director for both of those movies. So
I'm so glad
okay.
he got to have his giant mechanical spider.
All right, Shaw, I'll kick it to you next. What final thoughts do you have?
All right. Well, first off, they actually made that joke in Superman Doomsday
Yeah.
when Toyman showed up in a mechanical spider, and Kevin Smith voiced the character who said that's lame. So
Yeah.
they did that, and yeah,
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch that. I must have missed that.
It's called
Yeah.
Foreshadow.
Doomsday, not Death
Okay,
Superman.
That was a good.
First
animated
version
movie.
of it.
That was a good
Okay.
animated movie
Yeah.
too.
But okay, as far as this whole thing is concerned, I mean, I think that the joke was kind of tame and wasn't deserved for the slap, but I do understand why he did it. You know, like I do understand all the stuff around it. I mean, and I honestly think that the whole situation is blown out of proportion by a lot of people because it's like it was like 5 seconds, both apologized to each other, the beef was squashed. I mean,
Was it
it's
though?
not that big of a deal in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, and I see what you're saying though. There's a lot of interesting things though when you look at celebrities and how the people around can start to mirror their behavior. Dan, what about you? Final thoughts, buddy?
Hey Josie, you just showed your ass to like the 6 people.
yeah, shut
Yeah, he
up.
did. Yeah, he did.
I still
So glad
don't
you brought that up.
realize. So.
Yes, you
No,
did.
it's-
Everybody got a free show for a second.
You
There
got
you go.
Free show.
Screenshots all around, everybody. get your view.
Man, you
Hey,
better
it's-
put that away. 'cause
Your
you're
angle
gonna-
here.
You're gonna
It's
you're gonna
11.
offend our viewer.
I
It's
you're gonna-
11:14 p.m. over
gonna
here.
offend-
The
you're
kids
gonna-
are in bed. He's
Yeah,
fine.
you're
They're
gonna
fine.
offend
KW has heard a lot worse.
Hey,
on
I was gonna
this
say
call.
Azrael's gonna he's gonna be mad.
He's heard
Um,
and seen a lot worse in
No.
the 2 years he's been a fan of ours. So
And okay, and Will, what about you, man? My amazing co-host of First Generation Dad. What do you think, buddy?
I
thoughts?
think my final thoughts. I blame, and I'll again put it on Facebook. I blame Jada for all this. She didn't protect her husband at all, and that's the sad part about it. Because again, when you're in a marriage, protection is a two-way street. It's not
Absolutely.
it's not just one way. And if she would have protected that man, none of this would have happened. So,
Will, that irony back and forth like that, like he was supposed to be protecting her, but she's not protecting him. Like that's going to create some kind of Hollywood black hole because that's so ironic for real, right? I mean,
maybe. But I just feel that overall you have to protect each other to protect the bag. You have to protect each other to protect your situation. And now Will's gonna be vilified to a certain extent, and maybe not get roles or whatever from Hollywood for a while. And that's gonna affect the money at some point.
they ain't going to do shit to him for one.
Oh, I'm not saying the
They're not gonna-
Academy is, but you know,
he's going to make just buku loads of money like he has for his entire
just-
life.
I
He won't
just-
get
I
touched.
just
Well,
blame Jada.
You know, even if he don't get roles, he drops a new album and it's still gonna sell.
oh yeah, it's still gonna sell.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
still gonna
it's gonna
sell. But
fly
I'm
off the
just saying,
shelf.
Jada didn't do a very good job of protecting him. Like I said, when you're married,
No,
couple, you
the
have to watch-
best thing he
have to
could
watch out for
probably
each
do
other.
for his image is leave her.
Yeah.
I would leave him.
Somehow
I would
more
leave him.
famous.
I would
He's
leave him.
somehow more famous. He is legend.
Well, now him and Michael B. Jordan are working on the sequel to that. So
Michael B. Jordan, not
It's-
Michael Jordan's son.
It's
People
okay.
think
And,
that.
and
I swear.
did I miss anybody's final thought?
Tyler and
Tyler,
I don't think
okay,
they
Tyler.
did hers either.
No, I actually heard that calculator.
I thought okay, yeah, all right. So Kay, we're gonna go first, and then Tyler, because ladies first.
Oh
Absolutely.
wow, that's
Weirdly,
Not quite.
Not really, but we say it anyway.
Oh yeah, okay. So
new subjects. Seven's a
Ian
chauvinist
Kay.
pig. Check.
oh god.
Good
All right,
Speaking
well,
of irony,
this,
Start that one.
this has been fun.
Right?
First of all, I want to throw that out there. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just, it's been a learning experience for everyone involved. It's something that definitely, it brought again a lot of memes. It brought a lot of people together. They're like, hey, we have somebody to make fun
I
of
mean,
right now.
if it did one thing, it brought fandoms together. Because
It
there's
did.
a meme for literally every. I've seen wrestling, sports. The Fresh Prince one was the best one by far to me. You can't be slapping Chris Rock because he made fun of your wife's hair.
You can't slap Chris Rock because your wife has no hair.
Yeah, so that's hey, we'll see where this goes.
And our mental health expert, Tyler, final thoughts.
I mean, everything aside, I think he handled it the wrong way. Time and place, as we have said over and over again. I completely understand the thoughts, the feelings that caused him to do what he did, but should have been somewhere else. And I get that there's been stuff between them, and sounds like she's not been the nicest person to him in a relationship since. But at the same time, his ass is grown. He can act on his own. He can think on his own.
Facts.
You know, so he needs some. There needs to be some accountability for Will Smith here, regardless of what Jada has done or said to him in the past. So.
Right.
How out of touch is Will Smith?
Yeah,
with reality is really the scary thing here. Like he thinks he's in 7 different characters. Like I had people telling me like, oh, he's a method actor. I'm like, well, stop doing the meth for a second, buddy. You got it. Okay, Will, pick one. Are you the guy from Pursuit of Happiness, or are you fucking Richard Williams? Pick one.
I do hope that whatever underlying issues has been fuel to this fire, I hope he gets some help for those issues.
Absolutely.
I hope things resolve. Yes. Needs accountability, but I hope all is well.
At very least, they need to go see a couples counselor.
This will just be a hitch in their relationship.
It's for me. There was a couple of things here, and I didn't bring this up at any point, but I'm just going to throw a few things out here as we wrap up. For me, there was a couple of pieces. I was bullied all through school. If somebody said something to me and I walked up and slapped the shit out of them, I'm the one that's getting suspended. Because I struck first. It doesn't make what they said right. I can agree that making a bald joke to someone with alopecia is probably not the best idea. As a comic, if I see a woman that's bald in my crowd and I make a bald joke about it, I'm either looking at alopecia or I'm possibly making fun of a cancer patient. I'm probably safe on stage because most people know you don't attack a comic on stage. But when I get off of that stage, there's potentially going to be somebody waiting to stop a mud hole in my ass.
Real quick, guys, I got to roll out of here. It was good to be here. Thank you guys for having me. I'll holler at y'all later.
Thank you for joining us, Will.
All right, man.
Later, man.
It's rough for all of us, Jada.
So there's that. And then you add in the fact that you don't ever assault a performer on stage.
You never assault anybody, but yes, definitely.
You shouldn't just assault anybody, but you don't assault a defensive performer.
I see tail.
Oh, Karma's hanging out with us. Yes,
Karma is here. Karma made an appearance.
See, Karma's coming for
like
Will
a
Smith.
s'more.
That's why Karma's there. Karma's looking for Will Smith.
Yeah.
But
Delicious.
one of the things that I teach my son, and I think this is all something, this will kind of be my, Jerry's final thought here, if you will. One of the things that I teach my son is that you are not responsible for other people's actions. When you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror, you see yourself. You don't see your friend. You don't see what your friend did. You face yourself and your actions in the mirror every day. And so no matter what other people do, you have to conduct yourself knowing that you answer for what you do. And that's it. And, it's, if you're a religious person who follows one of the Abrahamic religions, like the Muslim faith, Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, whatever, You know, there's that time atonement you're going to come for Judgment Day. And I know that that's also exists in a lot of other faiths, but I don't know which ones, and I'm not going to fuck it up. But there's that time where you're going to stand for atonement within these faiths. And so you're not standing in atonement for the sins of others, the actions of others. You're still, even in those cultures, you stand for your own. You know, actions speak louder than words, but you still answer for both of your own. And so it is important for you to teach your kids and remember for yourself that no matter what, at the end of the day, you are responsible for you. And if you lose sight of that, you will fuck it up.
Jerry.
I mean, the man makes a lot of sense. I'm 33 years old, and I'm just really comprehending and like learning that shit. And it's not always easy to. And I was like you, Seven, and realized recently, like I have PTSD from my bullying to a point like anytime I feel like anybody's attacking me, I'm gonna get defensive.
That weight starts in your chest. That anxiety just builds almost instantly, and that's the thing is that's why I can understand from Will. Like, because if somebody's insulting my wife, you can bet your ass I'm going from cold to red hot in a very quick and inefficient manner, and it's understandable to want to protect your partner. But you also have to understand that this is a civilized society. This isn't cavemen where I can just hit Tyler over the back of the head with a club because he said my wife had a stanky leg. You know, I can't.
Oh God, he just hit him with a chair.
Good God Almighty!
I can't. You know, that's not how you act in a civilized society. This isn't.
Oh my God!
And so, as you find these ways to look at the situation and relate to your kids, look at it from that perspective. You're going to have to face yourself in the mirror in the morning. I'm not going to have to face Will Smith slapping the shit out of Chris Rock. I now have to worry about if I go start doing shows again, somebody thinking it's okay to get up and slap me on the face while I'm in the middle of telling a joke. But I'm not. I'm not standing.
Seven, always.
always take when in doubt.
Oh no! Here, what I do is I keep a ball gag in my pocket. And if somebody starts walking up like they're going to attack me, I just put it on and then I say, "All right, let's go," because nobody's going to be able to focus on that.
Hey, dude. Hey,
and
no
that's
joke.
That's going to be the end of the night, right there.
No joke. At when I used to not want to get in fights at bars and stuff because I'd just be like just drunk and like not wanting to fight somebody because I'm having fun. So I would literally like if somebody wanted to fight me, I would literally put a cigarette out on my hand in front of them. And guess how many people wanted to fight me after that? I have a scar, dude. You can see it right there. Like I did it like 3-4 times. And guess how many of those dudes wanted to fight me? Not one. Because strong dudes are afraid of not other strong guys. They're afraid of crazy people. Yeah, they're afraid of people that they think will kill them. So that's the best way to go. And real quick, guys. Actually, with the bullying thing, dude, this is the thing that people don't think about. I bullied people in high school. Like I wasn't like a crazy, you know, like I wasn't like relentless and like bullied one dude, you know what I'm saying? Like I definitely bullied people though, right? And like I have felt like absolute fucking garbage for that. Like for years and years because, you know, I did some mushrooms and I opened my mind and I wasn't a fucking prick anymore. Well, I'm still a prick, but like it's
the better kind now. I can vouch for that.
It's the other side. It's like the other side of it is bad as well. And like, I feel bad about it. And like, that's a different perspective on it. And at the same time, that can also help. Like, as long as, you know, it's just something to think about. Like everybody doesn't like, you know,
see, to me, and we could do a whole nother episode on this, but to me, like that stands a lot to your character, Dan. Cause like, I would love to talk to some of the kids, and there were times that I confronted a couple of bullies and asked, like, why are you always fucking picking? And I actually became friends with a couple of those kids. But I would love
I'm friends with a couple of guys that bullied me when I was in school.
To some of them, and like, do you think about what? Because I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I was the kid that kids used to say, "Hey, if you shoot up the school, remember I was nice to you." I was that.
Yeah, I've had that too.
Yeah, I had that one too.
Yeah.
So.
Right, no, totally. At least you didn't go Dylan Klebold on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Been to Columbine though, beautiful school. No, but beautiful school. Probably not the the nicest place to be. That library is gonna be haunted. But
oh my God damn
it, Dan,
no, what?
No,
Dan.
If spirits exist, they are heavy in that. I hope
Thank you.
I mean,
Sorry, I had to
I'm
do
inclined to agree, but
You're right, but that doesn't make it something he needs to say. Okay, bring him back in, but mute his microphone. All right.
At least
So
you guys
for
gave me a
everybody
shot.
that has joined us tonight, for my guests, including my friend Will Morgan, you can catch him and Shah on Saturday nights on the William Morgan Media Twitch page with the Geek Gauntlet podcast. And you can also catch him with me when First Generation Dad comes back. We have not set a date for that back, but we are working on some stuff. Kay and Tyler, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to catch them Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern on Double XP and All Things Gaming. Josie, thank you for coming and for keeping Pinfall above float. Dan, thank you for getting here eventually. I'm going to start telling you an hour earlier next time. That way I get you on time. But
So
thank
much
you,
stuff to
everybody,
do.
for joining us for this
I am
special
going to go ahead and
episode.
say
Go ahead.
me and Will are going to be doing a special at some point next week. Talk about Mania, since that is
Okay. Is that this weekend?
Mania is this weekend. Saturday,
It
All
is
right,
actually.
I might pop. Depending on things, I might pop in on that because I got the base.
Sure.
I got winter meetings on Sunday night, but we'll
I'm not.
We'll see. I
It's
might
probably gonna be. It's probably gonna be Tuesday, honestly, because we're just gonna go ahead and talk about Mania, the Monday after Raw Mania, the Raw after Mania, all in one fell swoop. So it's gonna be Tuesday more than likely.
Josie, can I just say, you were an average looking man, but you are a well above average looking woman.
We'll see how that goes once I actually start hormones. But
Hey, the hair is on point too. That is peacock. That is peacock out right now.
digging the bangs.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And
Seven,
we will
you did
see
a fucking
soon.
awesome job hosting, bro. For
Thank
real.
you.
Yes, you did.
Hey,
You
and I
did,
got this.
man. Yeah,
I got this neon
absolutely.
sign back here for the Sports Report After Dark. That's an actual neon sign. It's definitely not my TV on a menu. It's definitely not. So
Didn't
I
think
bought
so.
that so that I could rep it, and he doesn't even rep Sports Report After Dark. So I'm fucking bleeding.
Yes,
I just
Sports
might
Report After
pick
Dark
myself out.
Monday nights at 11:30 Eastern on Pinfall, right after Sports Report, which
Now it's
Dan
just
and Will
not
and I are
genuine.
also on. 10 p.m. Eastern Monday nights, both on the Pinfall Network.
Sounded
Please
good.
tune into both of them and bring some sand or bring a bucket to get some of the sand out of Dan's vagina. It's
I'll
pretty
just
bad
trash can
that-
back
that-
it. I'll just shovel
that
that.
out of the it's pretty bad that out of the two women on the panel you still have the biggest vagina, Dan. That's really disturbing. But thank everybody for joining us. We will see you again soon. Check out all of our amazing shows and have a great night.
It's like a hastily packed suitcase.